We continue to follow for you. Brought it to you as breaking news yesterday at this time. Singer Sean Kingston and his mother arrested on fraud and theft charges. Chopper 6 just there overhead, showing us the moments their Southwest Ranch's mansion was raided yesterday, allegedly in connection with a lawsuit for Kingston not paying for purchased items.
Yeah, his mother was taken in handcuffs, and today she made her first appearance in court. NBC6's Sophia Hernandez joins us live. And Sophia, his mother's facing a laundry list of charges this midday.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Constance. 8 charges to be exact. That includes organized scheme to defraud, fraud, grand theft, and misuse of personal identification. And attorneys citing today that this is not her first time running into trouble with the law. You see there on your screen, that is 61-year-old Janice Turner. She was in bond court this morning, where prosecutors pointed out she spent 16 months in federal prison after a 2005 federal conviction for bank fraud. However, her attorney in bond court this morning saying even though she has a criminal history, she does not pose a threat to the community. Yet the prosecutor thought differently.
Given the specific circumstances of this case, I believe in this instance both are appropriate, just given the nature of the charges from what is alleged and the type of fraud that is being alleged.
Now, the judge decided to keep her bond at $160,000. She also has 3 holds, one of which was surrendering her passport. Once all 3 holds are clear, she could then potentially make bond. Now, as for her son, Sean Kingston, he was booked into the San Bernardino County Jail because of a warrant that's from Broward County, right here out of Broward County. And yesterday, before his arrest, he actually posted to Instagram saying that people love negative energy and that his attorneys were working to get things sorted. We, of course, will have more for you later on this afternoon, but for now, we're live in Broward County. Sophia Hernandez, NBC6 News.
Dang, mama. Y'all take a look at these numbers.
He has basically a sales pitch that he goes through to defraud people. He induces them into giving him a really expensive thing.
So these are the charges that the mom has. And I'm just going to read you the penalties like I normally do. 30 years in Florida, basically. Grand theft is classified as a first-degree felony, punishable by up to 30 years in prison with a maximum fine of $10,000. If the property is stolen, it's valued at $100,000 or more. Then this part is where it gets real Mickey and tricky, right? Fraud sentencing in Florida depends on the type of fraud and the value of the property involved. Organized fraud, less than $20,000, a third-degree felony, punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. $20,000 through $49,999, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. But here's where it gets wild, $50,000 or more. A first-degree felony, punishable by up to 30 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Then we're not done. Scheme to defraud, $300 or more, a third-degree felony, punishable by up to 5 years in prison, less than $300, a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 12 months in county jail and a $1,000 fine. And here's the last one. What is the penalty for criminal use of personal identification information in Florida? In most instances, a conviction for identity theft carries a maximum penalty of 15 years imprisonment, a fine, and forfeiture of any personal property used or intended to be used to commit the crime. Can we be honest? I think I'll be the honest one. I'll do it. She taught her son how to scam, bro. She already went to jail for 1.5 years, a year and a half, or whatever what y'all want to call it. So she already did that. So she's already a convicted felon. That's why she gonna go ahead and get a whole lot of time for this if she is guilty. Because I kept on saying to myself, why is this mama going to jail? And then I said, unless she got her own thing going on. And lo and behold, she might be the whole entire ringleader. It's one thing, right, for your kids to do wrong. It's another thing for your kids to be taught wrong from you. So one thing I pride myself on is that gangbanging as I know it will end with me as far as my bloodline goes. My sons ain't no gangbangers. My sons can never claim to be no gangbangers. It ain't possible. They ain't grow up like that. So I'm proud of that, right? But if I would have taught my kids how to be a gangbanger, I would be one of the worst individuals because I taught them wrong, knowing wrong. So with that being said, this mom is facing life, basically, natural life. Because if they max her out because she's already a convicted felon, Florida don't play about stuff like that. There's a lot of states that will be lenient. New York, California. That's about it. Maybe Oregon. Yeah, Oregon too. Washington State. Connecticut. Nah, let's scratch off Connecticut. That ain't possible. But it's just those states, bro, that are lenient towards rehabilitation, believing in the goodness of man. Like, bruh, you really shouldn't be getting whacked because of this and because of that. But Florida, just like Alabama, just like Mississippi, just like Louisiana, just like Texas, just like New Mexico, just like Arizona, hell, South Carolina, North Carolina, they're a little better. Bruh, you gonna get bammed off your rip. This is it. Well, I hope she got a hell of a lawyer. Now, they arguing down a $160,000 bond. Bitch, you ain't got that kind of money. You done scammed and schemed for over $1 million. You ain't got $160,000 of that. I find that hard to believe. But also, your lawyer is supposed to do that. Let's be fair, square, obvious, and honest. Your lawyer is supposed to fight for that. Why? Because we don't want to give it all up. But they got to figure out a way to have these cats basically get their money back. If she's guilty, they're going to fry her ass. If she's not guilty, she might be guilty of some things, they still going to fry her ass. Do not expect Sean Kingston's mom to walk up out of here without at least 8 years. But if that judge is a mean judge, and it look like she got a whole thing where she just screwing over people, because y'all got to remember, bro, some of y'all gonna get on here and be like, yeah, it's only fraud, it's harmless and shit. No, it's not like that, bro. Y'all gotta really dig deep. A lot of the people that they are defrauding are everyday people. But it's not necessarily everyday like that. We're talking about senior citizens. Imagine if somebody got over on your granddad, on your grandmama, for her last $1,500, for her last $10,000, for her $30,000 that was put up in a retirement account for her. You don't think you wouldn't want Sean Kingston mom sitting up there? Majority, y'all can go look this up if you want to. Majority of the people who are defrauded are the older people because they don't understand this new wave of technology. That's why if your grandmama and granddaddy are alive today, you should be elbow to elbow and helping them upgrade themselves into how they're doing everything. Now, some of y'all grandmas and granddads is freaky as hell, so they're probably like 50, 60 years old. But the ones who are in their 70s, 80s, 90s, you have to teach them, or you have to be their guide, because if you're not, they'll mess around and say, well, basically share their life away without even knowing it. And so when I think of crimes like this, I think of the victims, and I have to. Because shit, I got a grandmama, and you get over on her, I'm gonna come see you. And if I'm feeling lucky, I might let you live. But that's just me. Y'all got to look at the victims in this. It sounds harmless and stuff like that, but we got to look at who it is. Now, she's defrauding like banks and all of that crap. I don't give a damn. Shit. You defrauding people who have insurance on money? Yeah, go ahead. I don't really care. I'm not tripping off that. Do your thingy thing. But other than that, bruh, nah, I can't really sign off on this one, because at the end of the day, bro, we don't know. And his mama taught him that stuff. It just makes sense to me. But share to keep your people aware. Subscribe, turn on the bell, stay notified. That Miss Love video will be dropping tomorrow. Boy.